Torres, now training. It's a hobby MMA, the home of George St. Pierre. How did that come about?
I lost 2 fights in a row. I was on a pretty good tear for about 4 or 5 years, and you know, the big difference was I was running my own gym. You know, I had my business, my own group of fighters, training myself, worrying about sponsorships and traveling and all these other things, and I lost focus on what was important, and that was training. So when I met Faraz, you know, he put me in check and showed me what I had to do to get back to where I was at, and that's what I'm doing now.
How important is it to have a team like that to support you?
I think it's really important because when I was first coming up, it was all trial and error. You know, no one in my family was a fighter. My dad worked in the mill, my mom's a secretary, you know, my uncles, they work in the mill. So it wasn't like I had great advice from my family, like, hey, you gotta, you know, don't travel so much, don't go out so much, don't do this so much, you know, focus on your training. It was all trial and error. So the more my personality grew, the more the less my training happened. So in a week of training, like when I fought Brian Bowles, it was a 2-week camp. I think I trained for 3 weeks. The Expo, UFC 100 Expo, traveling for sponsors, doing stuff for ESPN. There was just so many stuff coming up, and I couldn't say no. I'm not the kind of guy to say no. The more stuff you put on my plate, the more I'm going to eat. And you know, I lost that fight, and I learned, you know, I gotta get back to the basics. But I still didn't have a coach. And then the Benavidez fight happened, and it was even worse. It was the worst even happened in that fight. So then I met Faraz, and Faraz told me, he goes, you need to get away from everything, leave your gym, leave everything, come here and train, and he guaranteed me results. And he's actually the first coach I've had that I've actually paid attention to 100%, and I've grown, like actually learned and grown a lot. So you know, I appreciate him as a coach and as a man, and as myself as a fighter, I've grown more than just fighting. He's helped me grow in a lot of ways, and I appreciate it. And I feel like I'm part of his family.
I'm here with Brad, who is here all the way from the other side of the country, British Columbia and Vancouver. Welcome to Toronto.
Thank you.
What would you like to ask Miguel?
Well, Miguel, I'm going to ask what basically all your fans are wondering, and that's how do you maintain that hairstyle well with your strict training regimen?
It's not easy, you know. I have to sacrifice 2 lions a day and drink cobra venom, so it's not very easy to find lions like that.
You just got to do what it takes, right?
Just do what it takes, you know, whatever it takes. I've actually been growing it out because Roy Nelson, I want to battle him a little bit, so I'm looking out for him. So if I see Roy anywhere, we're gonna have a mullet battle. So I'm just trying to make my dad proud, you know. When I was coming into the WC, you know, everyone asked me, why do you have that haircut? Why do you do that? And my dad's had this his whole life. You know, like, he has curly long hair, and it's just awesome. It flows. And I never understood it. I never even noticed it. And then when I was going to WC, you know, Uriah has his chin, he has his hair. Like, every superstar has his thing, his look.
That's your gimmick?
I didn't have a look. And I'm sitting down on the couch, I'm thinking, what am I gonna do? Get a tattoo, get a nickname? I don't have a nickname. What am I gonna do? And I'm sitting there looking at my dad, and I'm like, that's what I'm gonna do. No one else had a mullet. I brought the mullet up, and you know, now I'm here with it. Now I'm rocking it kind of hard.
And it's from Well That's Dumb. He's a really nice guy, even though he's got a funny Twitter handle, and he wants to know that, well, he's heard that there's some possibility that you might be coaching on The Ultimate Fighter, and he wants to know if you're excited about that possibility. I'm
very excited. If I had the opportunity to coach, I'd coach 100%. You know, I think sometimes I'm a better coach than I am a fighter, because I dedicate so much time and so much energy to my guys. And you know, I think if I ever had the opportunity, I would love to do it 100%. Then the world would really get to see what kind of a crazy person I am. So that'd be awesome.
Judging and refereeing in mixed martial arts, see the look on your face, what needs to be done?
I mean, I have a couple opinions. I don't want to throw them out there 100% like that, but something hasn't happened with that. I've seen a couple of fights. I'm not going to bring them up, or what fights they were, but you know, I'm 100% sure this guy won. There's no way he could have lost, and the judges go the other way. And I just think, you know, the best thing that can happen in the sport is in the future, you know, fighters like myself or guys that are established fighters become judges, or they open up some kind of a grading criteria for people who don't train, who don't sweat, who don't bleed, who don't sacrifice their time and their energy into the sport. Because, you know, a guy's beating you up for 4 minutes in the feet and he gets to take down the end of the round and does nothing, does not constitute him winning a round. And I've seen fights where guys are dominating the whole fight and get taken down once and get up, and they give the fight to the other guy for a takedown. So I think something has to be done. You know, I can talk about this for hours, but something has to be, a norm has to be standardized on how to judge it, how to criteria the fight. So.
From Toronto, what do you want to know?
Okay, in the movie Fight Club, Brad Pitt's character Tyler Durden asks Edward Norton if he could fight anyone in history, despite weight class, time period, who would that person be? And I want to know, who would be your dream opponent in a fight?
My dream opponent in a fight? Man. I don't know. Something like Attila the Hun, some like barbaric ancient warrior, Alexander the Great or something like that. Somebody that has a big name that if I beat him, I'd be, you know, so I've whooped Alexander's, you know, I got him. Or I beat up on Attila. That'd be a good fight. But no biting, no hair pulling, no scratching. Same rules that we have now.
I don't think he'd go for that.
Then I have to get a knife or something, for sure.
I am here with a super huge UFC fan who came all the way from Victoria, British Columbia, just to watch UFC 129 this weekend. His name is Richard, and he's got a question for you, Miguel.
Hey Miguel, what do you eat before a fight? What's your meal consist?
What do I eat before a fight? Wow, I eat a lot of stuff, man. I don't really have a diet. Like leading up to the weigh-ins, I can eat fried chicken, mashed potatoes, gravy, biscuits.
You're all good.
I'm all good. Like once I'm in my prime shape, I walk around about 147, 148, and I can eat whatever I want. And just the next 10 pounds is just water. So I don't really have a tough time. Like the day after weigh-ins, I'll get a good, I get 3 or 4 dinners. I get a chicken dinner, a steak dinner, some pasta, and I eat from all of it, and then I'll take the rest home and I'll just keep eating off of it. So I'm pretty much a monster when it comes to eating food. So it's kind of crazy.
Fight the smart game instead of just banging, and which do you prefer?
Well, the biggest thing is this. The way I used to fight, the old style, is always in me. I have to repress that through training. So for me, it's always inside. If I get into a bad situation or I get into a scrap, I'm going to always be able to scrap. But the game plan keeps me safe. I've never had a fight in my past 3 years where after my fight, I'm able to go back to training right away. I had to take a month off, let my hands heal, let my face heal, and then get back to training. I'm not training with Faraz and having a great game plan. I go out there, I win my fights, I don't get hit, my hands don't hurt. I come out, I come back on Monday to the gym training again. So for me, I think it's a smarter approach, and it's going to make my career last longer. Before I wanted to fight till I was 34, 35. I'm 30 years old now. If I keep this up now and keep fighting smart, I can last till I'm 40.